Hi, my name is Kathy Crawford, and my presentation is on color contrast checkers. Today we will be discussing what is a color contrast checker, web content accessibility guidelines, benefits of using a color contrast checker tool, and lastly, how to use a color contrast checker tool. What is a color contrast checker? A color contrast checker is a tool used to evaluate the contrast between two colors. Specifically, it calculates the contrast ratio between the foreground, for example, text or other design elements, and the background color of a web page or other digital content. Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. To meet the level AA mid-range success criteria, text smaller than 18-point size or 14-point size, if bold, must have a 4.5 to 1 ratio. All larger texts must have a contrast of 3 to 1 or greater. The intent of the success criteria is to provide enough contrast between the text and its background so that it can be read by people with different types of color blindness, moderately low vision, and vision impairments. Some of the benefits of using a color contrast tool. These tools improve accessibility of digital content for people with visual impairments. Using these contrast color tools, designers and developers can ensure their content meets website content accessibility guidelines. Better user experience. When digital content has sufficient color contrast, it is easier to read and understand, providing a better user experience for all users. Using color contrast tools to test and adjust color contrast, designers and developers can save time and money in the long run by avoiding costly design mistakes and rework. WebAIM Color Contrast Checker is a free online tool that allows you to check the color contrast ratio between two colors. The tool is designed to help you ensure that your web content meets the website content accessibility guidelines for color contrast. WebAIM is considered one of the most reliable and user-friendly color contrast checker tools in the industry. How to use the WebAIM Color Contrast tool. To access the page, go to webaim.org/resources/contrast checker. Once you're on the WebAIM page, you will see the color contrast checker below. There are two sections, one section for foreground color and for background color. There are three options to enter the information for foreground color and background color. One, you can click on the color palette tab and select your color here. Second, you can use the lightness scroll bar to select your color. And lastly, you can enter in the color's RGB code in hexadecimal format into the text box. For example, the RGB code in hexadecimal format for black is the # and 6 zeros. The RGB code in hexadecimal format for off-white is the # E3, E3, E3. And that's what I will enter in for my background color, off-white. So again, you enter in the RGB code in hexadecimal format into each text box. And once you do that, you scroll down and you'll see that I've passed. For normal text, large text, I know now that my foreground color and my background color meet the criteria for the website content accessibility guidelines. If you scroll further down, you'll see a tool called Colorzilla. Colorzilla is an excellent tool for extracting the color value from any page. And this will make it easy to actually get the RGB code in hexadecimal format for your background color and your foreground color. So again, if you don't know the RGB code in hexadecimal format for your text colors, your background colors, you can use this tool called ColorZilla to extract that information from the page.